Hey folks, Brett Hudson here, coming to you live from beautiful South Florida. And today is June 17th, and I am super excited that we're going to be covering Ray Higdon's new book, Faith Driven Wealth. And, if you love God and you are struggling with finances or purpose, then this is the book you want to read. So be sure to follow along. If you want to plug into Zoom, where we're going to go through the book on the Zoom as opposed to just listening, you can head on over to a zoom.abundancewithgod.com. That's zoom.abundancewithgod.com. That'll give you access to the Zoom so you can follow along as I go through the Kindle. And you can read along as we cover the Faith Driven Wealth book. A couple of things I want to set the table. One is we're going to be a couple of things. We're only going to cover, this is going to be like 30 minutes a day until we finish the book. So we'll we'll just do the foreword, the introduction today, and then we'll jump into the chapter starting tomorrow. But the idea is 10 to 15 minutes of reading, and then the last hopefully 10 to 15 minutes, we can do a mastermind and kind of cover what we just read and just reinforce. Obviously, I love mindsets. I love being able to hear from other people's different perspectives on what they got from the reading. So let's just get right into it. First of all, if you don't know who Ray Higdon is, he's a leader of leaders. He's a servant leader. He's one of my mentors. I love what Ray puts out there for the number of years. Does like a video every day. Always value driven. He turned his life over to God about a year and a half ago. I too, June 17th is today, right? So this is a very special day for me personally. 11 years ago, I put the plug in the jug per se. And so I celebrated 11 years of sobriety today, but it was also when I turned my life over to God 11 years ago, when I started, hitting my knees in the morning and evening on a daily basis for the last 11 years, developing a relationship with my higher power, who I call God. So I love that Ray has also brought us or brought to me and hopefully to you a pastor that we're plugged into, which is Graham Cook. And a couple of things that we're going to cover with Graham Cook after we do this book is we're going to continue with the learning and education so that we can become servant leaders out there, right? God is my employer. I don't work for anybody. I work under the guidance of God, and he's the one that opens up, a plethora of vehicles or serenity or peace of mind or contacts, and everything has been by letting go and letting God. So I hope you get something from this brief intro today. And then, like I said, starting tomorrow, we'll get right into it. So let me just hover over here. All right. Faith-driven wealth, breaking scarcity mindsets and following a spiritual path to unleashing abundance, right? That's what we're all here for. So, let me go back to some of the. He's got some great, obviously quotes from the Bible, And so this is Deuteronomy 8:17 through 18. You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. But remember, the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. And that's why I say God's my employer, right? I don't do anything without him. And so Ray's got some dedication to his heavenly Father. Thank you for loving me so much to teach me, mentor me, and guide me. Thank you for never giving up on me and being with me when I didn't see you, in the moment. Thank you for making me the way you made me and for all the areas you have blessed me. Thank you for helping me put your will above my desires. Love you, Ray. And so that was Ray Higdon's dedication to his heavenly Father, who he calls God. And so Proverbs 3:1 says, honor the Lord with your wealth And these are some of the chapters that we're going to be covering I love that there's 12 chapters, 12 disciples. I don't know if he designed it like that, but we're going to cover the foreword by John Maxwell, which is another mentor of mine, leader of leaders. And John Maxwell has an amazing story. If you haven't read any of his books, I highly suggest plugging into John Maxwell. We'll also cover the introduction. I'm just going to rattle off the 12 chapters. Money was my master, but the giver of all good and perfect gifts. Walk by faith, not by sight. What are the idols in your heart? 21 reasons why you're broke. How I view wealth. Number 7 is God has an anointed brand for you. 8 is the ultimate wealth hack. 9, a radical take on generosity. 10, trusting in God's plan. 11, to get wealthy, do this, right? And the best type of freedom. It's a guest chapter by Tyler Watson. Nothing is impossible. And then he's also included 50 powerful prayers. So, if you haven't gotten this book, you can get it on Amazon, right? Faith-Driven Wealth by Ray Higdon. So you can follow along. I know I ordered my books last week and they came next day, I believe, or 2 days. So it was pretty fast. So, or you could just plug into the Zoom, right? And follow along as I read. So this is the foreword by John C. Maxwell. One of the most powerful things a leader can do is align their faith and values with their financial goals. This can be challenging because it goes against the natural instinct to store up things for yourself. But what if you could do more, have more, and be more? I've spent more than 5 decades studying leadership, and it's become clear to me that one of the greatest indicators of success is a leader's mindset toward resources. Unfortunately, many leaders maintain a scarcity mindset. These are the leaders who are always afraid of using what they have because they think when they do, they won't have anything left. They build fences around the few valuable items they have and begin to protect them, kind of like the talents, right? Remember that? They keep their hands closed, leaving no room to receive. That's sad. That's a sad way to live and a bad way to lead. I agree with my friend Ray Higdon that having an abundance mindset is the better way. Leaders with an abundance mindset believe there's more than enough, right? An abundance mindset always believes that there's more than enough. A scarcity mindset comes from lack, right? And so there's more than enough. Go and you will find the resources, right? Knock, right? Ask, knock, and you shall receive. So there's more than enough. Go and find the resources. Your best days are before you. They look at themselves not as a reservoir, but as a river. Their goal in life is not to store up or hold, but rather to let go and distribute. Their hands are open as they give, which puts them in a position to receive more. I'm convinced that learning to maintain an abundance mindset will change the course of your life for the better. I call it the abundance paradox. The more you give, the more you have to give and want to give. What you see, experience, and become is determined by your mindset. Your perspective will control your life today and your potential tomorrow. The good news is you can choose your perspective. This book isn't just about wealth. It's about living a life of greater purpose and integrity. One of the first things that grabbed my attention was the subtle breaking scarcity mindsets and following the spiritual path to unleashing abundance. What if I told you that it's possible to unleash abundance in your life and that you can have financial freedom? Would that change the way you view your time, your money, and your possessions? I first met Ray several years ago at a leadership conference. I had noticed right away how passionate he was about helping people. He and I share this passion, so it brought us together immediately. Since then, we've worked together on various projects, and the closer I get to Ray, the more impressed I am by his vision and commitment to faith-driven financial guidance. Ray's drive to help others isn't merely a job, it's a personal mission. He believes deeply in the power of faith to transform lives, especially when it comes to how you leverage your resources. As you dive into these pages, you'll find this message to be timely and important. I've had many conversations with leaders around the world who revealed their uncertainties about the economy, political systems, and their ever evolving world of technology, among other questions about their future. Maybe you have some of the same uncertainties or fears about the future. This book will help you see a pathway to abundance that's grounded in faith and integrity. It challenges the common misconceptions about wealth and money that many of us hold and offers a fresh perspective based on biblical principles. I believe that you're created for abundance. Even if you don't grow up thinking that way, you can step out of the scarcity world and become an abundance person. Faith driven wealth will help you get there by showing you how to achieve success through aligning your financial goals with your faith. The world is a better place because of people whose perspectives were shaped by abundance thinking. Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Graham Bell, the Wright brothers, just to name a few. You can be part of that group too. It's an honor to write the foreword for this transformative book and be one of the first to benefit from its lessons and impact. I encourage you to read and apply its teachings in your own life. John C. Maxwell, #1 New York Times bestselling author, coach, and speaker, often called the country's top leadership authority. He's sold over 24 million books in 50 languages. He's the founder of the John Maxwell Company, the John Maxwell Team, and Equip, an organization that has trained over 5 million leaders in 180 countries. So that was John C. Maxwell giving his endorsement of this book by Ray Higdon. And I'm not sure we got enough time to go into the introduction. It's 12:15. Let me just see how many pages. Oh, it's 2 pages. Let's do it. Let's do this. The introduction: wealth, abundance, prosperity. If there was one topic more controversial to those of faith, I don't know what it would be. I believe most Christians have been duped into believing that not only is there virtue in poverty, but they can also ignore every bit of scripture that talks about loving others if someone appears eager to make money. Have you ever felt like that way? People just, money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evil, right? They've been duped into believing this. And so they have a negative attitude towards wealth and money. And even pastors or preachers or, that preach abundance, right? So, and then you have the other extreme. Most people, especially entrepreneurs, base their identity, safety, security, significance, and emotions around how much money they've stored up. They desire to get to a point where they don't have to trust in God because they can trust their Bank of America savings account or their retirement portfolio. This book will help you distinguish what the biblical answer to wealth is, how to think about it, how to multiply it and increase it while putting God and his kingdom first. Why did Ray title this book Faith Driven Wealth? Now you may be wondering, if this book is really about abundance, why did I title it Faith Driven Wealth? I decided to use wealth because people seem to have an accurate understanding of what wealth represents. At the time, abundance is a bit more vague and requires additional explanation. My publishers agreed, so wealth it is. But notice this book, Breaking Scarcity Mindsets and Following a Spiritual Path to Unleashing Abundance. Wealth without abundance is like a tree without roots that could stop producing fruit at any time, because without the roots of the abundance, there's nothing to sustain it. You could have all the money in the world, but if you're always anxious about whether the tree will keep producing fruit, can you ever be at ease, right? Can you ever feel like, you're in that position? I personally, I wouldn't want to do it without God. So I don't think so. Just like Ray says, I don't think so. When you live with an abundance mindset, you're not just focused on what you can get. You're also thinking about what you can give, knowing that giving is an important part of the cycle of receiving. When you truly believe in God's abundance, you start making decisions from a place of confidence and generosity rather than fear and limitation. You need to stop worrying about what you're giving away and start getting excited about the wealth and abundance you can create for yourself and others. So that's that'll cover it for today. It's kind of what we're 18 minutes into this, and tomorrow we'll jump right into chapter 1. Money was my master, but only when I was broke, right? And so with that, let me see if there's anybody that wants to come out and share. So excited about this. So what do you have? Drop a comment below what your take is on what we just covered. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the reading today. I want to give you a couple of resources. The reading did talk about resources. The Abundance with God abundancewithgodgroup.com. Abundancewithgodgroup.com. That's our Facebook group. It's a private community. I think we have close to 300 people already in it. This will give you an opportunity to plug into the group, and this way, you can always stay on top of what we're talking about, the readings, videos, stuff that Ray Higdon's going to be posting. So at the end of the day, I highly recommend you join our Facebook group. That's abundancewithgodgroup.com. And in that group, we're going to be talking about a mobile app that a lot of us are utilizing to enhance our education when it comes to the Bible, right? And learning about God, being able to, pray with God, not pray to God, pray with God. And the mobile app that we're all using, there's a 5-day free trial. Not trying to pitch you on anything, but if you really want to dive into some education that's going to take you from, that struggling mindset to an abundance mindset, I highly recommend it. You can go to abundancewithgod.com, abundancewithgod.com. You can start your 5-day free trial. The art of thinking brilliantly. So when you download that app, I'm going to highly recommend inside the app, you can look for conferences. I'm going to recommend the conference, The Art of Thinking Brilliantly, to start with that one, right? Unless God leads you to some other area that pops, when you look inside that app, something might just pop off the chart to you. So you might want to start with that. But if you want to know what I started with, the Art of Thinking Brilliantly has completely transformed the way I think about abundant mindset, learning how to pray to God, the fruits of the Spirit. And Graham Cook leads our mobile app. He's the pastor that leads the whole educational side of that mobile app. And wow, I am so grateful to Ray for introducing me to Graham Cook. I couldn't have asked for a better blessing. I'm totally committed to this thing. So I hope to see you tomorrow. With that, have a blessed day, and bye for now.